Hey guys, how y'all doing today? It is your buddy Keith, and I am here live again in the control room at the one and only world famous Essex Recording Studios, just outside London in Southend-on-Sea, England, baby. And we're going to be talking about this beauty right here today. If you're new to the channel, hit that like button, smash subscribe, come join our circle of friends. There's almost 10,000 of us here on the internet, on the old YouTube. It's totally free, costs you nothing, and you get to hang out with your buddy Keith and all the other guys here drooling over these super cool guitars that I find from all around the world. Try to give you a little bit of an education, show you what they look like up close as if you were holding them in person at your very own local guitar shop. Alrighty. Well, if you've been watching the channel today, earlier we had an interview with the lovely Parthenope. She's an epic jazz sax player, a flautist, plays the flute, violinist, and vocalist. She's blowing up huge here in the UK. Massively in demand session player for some mega artists. So that was earlier today, and now I've got a couple guitars that another artist brought in for us to share with you. And this one is going up for sale on the site. So you will see it on the EssexRecordingStudios.com website and on our Reverb.com store. Good buddies at Reverb. This is the new Fender Japanese limited edition Boxer series. They've brought back the 80s Boxer series and the 80s HM heavy metal Strat. And those were both kind of, well, I think Japan in general is kind of known for their awesome finishes with blacked out headstocks. And that for sure is what you got back in the 80s in these series. The HM Strat, which stood for heavy metal Strat, had a big 80s font, just Strat, almost looked like a graffiti font headstock logo. The Boxer series, I was actually never familiar with. I didn't know this existed in the 80s coming out of Japan. And you can see we've got Made in Japan. This is brand new, by the way. Still has the plastic on the pickups and plastic on the pickguard cover. So I did not know, and it's got some of Keith's fingerprints there. I'll wipe those off for you. I didn't know they had this series. I've never seen it before, and I'm already in love with it. I'd say I prefer it to the HM, the heavy metal Strat. For one, I think the headstock logo is way cooler. It's way sleeker. But there's some other really interesting features that this guitar has that, in my opinion, make this superior to American Strats. And, you know, maybe not the most top-of-the-line custom shop or American elite, blah, 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 but certainly I'd take this over an American standard Strat. On looks alone, I'd do it, but check out the features. So, you've got two Boxer series pickups. These are proprietary Fender pickups. You can only get them on this model. They're high output humbuckers, but they also have a coil tap. So yes, each of these can be converted from humbuckers to single coils effectively. Now you get a 2-point synchro tremolo, just like you do on the higher end American models. But look at this bad boy. I love this. It's a push-in tremolo bar, and it's blacked out, which is amazing. But yes, push-in tremolo for the win. I'm all about that. Can we it's 2021, people. Can we please stop having to screw in our whammy bars? I'm over it. I'm done. All right, so that's super cool. I think I'm probably winning some of you over right about now. Now this gets even cooler. You get way better knobs. It's kind of throwback 80s with the Fender F logo on the top, but then these are rubberized. This is all rubber right here. All right, but then it gets even better because this is detented at the 5 o'clock position. You might hear it if I put this up real close. Nope. But anyway, it's detented because it's a TBX Tone Control, which is tone bass expression or expansion. That's what it is. Tone bass expansion. So from 1 to 5 works as a normal tone control. And then from 5 to 10, it works to limit, I think, capacitance and really bring out the lows and, well, I think it's all of them. brings them out and increases output of the signal strength all around. Not bad. You also get jumbo frets on this, so not any puny wimpy frets, but nice jumbo frets. And it feels very nice along the edges. They're not sharp. The craftsmanship, as far as build quality goes, this would pass a blindfold test for being made in America, like any day of the week. Now, this is also really nice because you get, in my opinion, nicer Godot tuners, and they still have, looks like they still have the plastic on the back, or the, so this still has the plastic covers and some of the nice oil that they use to lubricate these new from the factory. So it's a Japanese-made guitar, comes with Japanese Godos. Back in the day, you had like big raised Godot letters. But yeah, I prefer them. One-piece maple neck, no skunk stripe, so your truss rod, you can see, you access through there, which is nice. I am a fan of the spoke wheel style. I think that's more convenient, but I think that's the next best thing. Certainly don't want to have to take off a neck to do any of those adjustments. But I think it's nicer on the back, too. It's all one piece of wood, and it has a nice satin finish to it. So it's very, very fast, very slick. It's C-shape. I think they said it's 12-inch radius. And it's just a very nice, slim, comfortable neck. It's not super chunky. It's also not an Ibanez Wizard profile. So for your traditional Strat players, you're fine. And for people that want to play super, super fast, you're totally fine as well. I mean, Yngwie plays the Strats. So, yes. So on the back here, you've got, again, it's a brand new guitar. Nothing's even been taken out of the plastics. You've got, they send these with gig bag. So there's your Fender gig bag there. But you've got your tremolo cavity there. You've got your TBX, looks like your tone control circuit here. Interestingly, that's recessed. This is not. I think that's something they could have done a little bit better. I think this plate could have been recessed into the body just like this little bit is. See how that's all flush? But see how this sticks out? So, yeah, I'm not afraid to give a little bit of criticism to Fender. But does that detract? Like, would that affect my purchasing decision in any way? None whatsoever. I mean, plenty of people are going to take this off and chuck it in the garbage. Blacked out Fender, made in Japan. Neck plate there. I think that would have been cool if they did like almost like a Charvel style thing, made it 3D to make it different. But whatever, it's etched, and it says made in Japan there, as well as on the headstock, which is a interesting distinguishing feature. If this wants to get into focus, hard to do all of this one-handed. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's any other models that say made in country name in two spots on the guitar, like made in America there and then made in America on the neck plate. None come to mind. If you Fender nerds and Fender wizards out there can think of any, let us know in the comments section. And then last thing to note is these are made in only two colors. Inca Silver, which I love. I'm a big fan of Inca Silver, and I'll tell you a little bit of history about that color. Or Sherwood Green, which is like kind of like this color. Yeah, it's cool, and I think like when you have something that's kind of like mint green with on black, because these all had strictly black hardware. I mean, even the whammy bar is black. But I think the Inca Silver is what sells it for me, and I love how like just the deep metallic finish. And look as I move, it almost looks like millions of little ants. It's all very 3D, very blingy, looks tremendous in the light. This is a great guitar for the stage. It looks epic. So Inca Silver is a special color to me because it has an interesting history with Porsche. I already gave it away, dang it, with Fender. Because they actually used Inca Silver, Porsche paint, like from the Porsche German car manufacturer, to paint guitars back in 1979 when they made a 79th anniversary. 79th, the 1979 anniversary. I think it was was it a 20th anniversary, 25th anniversary model? Man, I can't remember what it said, but it had the anniversary with the year written along the side here in a special decal. And the first 500 were made with Huffy bicycle paint in white. And I'm trying to remember how many they made. I think they made something like 1,500 of these guitars. They made, in the first 500, it might be even more. It might have been like 10,000. It could be way off, but it was less than that. Somewhere in a few thousand they made of these guitars. And the first 500 were made in white, and they were shipped off to dealers all around the world. And by the time they got to the dealer, all the paint was starting to crack and blemish. And Fender said, okay, well, we can't use this bicycle paint anymore on these cars. What are we going to do on these guitars? We got to use this car paint. We're going to use Porsche Inca Silver. And that's where the Inca Silver came from. So for you Porsche enthusiasts out there, that's the heritage behind this color. Pretty cool. And no, it wasn't originally sparkly. This is like a metallic Inca Silver or pearl, whatever you want to call it. But just a stunning, gorgeous guitar that really pops, you know. Neck, I'll say it again, super comfortable, C-shaped neck, and I love the blacked out matching headstock with the hardware and neck plate. And it is a rosewood neck, but it's a darker rosewood, and it really looks the part. Personally, I think having this in ebony with like abalone dot inlays would be super awesome. But I can save that for when I go and custom order a guitar one day from Fender. One of these days I'm going to do it. Tell you what, it's not going to be this day. There's all the wood shortages out there, and just prices going through the roof, and custom shop orders taking like 2 years to get. But one of these days, your buddy Keith's going to go order his very own guitar built to his very own specifications. And I'll be thinking about this one when I decide what bells and whistles to put on mine. Yeah, way cool. All right, guys. Well, that is the new Fender limited edition Made in Japan Boxer series. Get yourself one. I think the value for the money over here in British pounds, they're $1,000. This is £1,000. You see them at $999, which is what this will be listed for. That's like the low retail price. I see them as much as £1,200. That's kind of the range. So like $999 to £1,200. Might be the same in dollars or in euros. Just depends on what market you're in and your currency. But that, I'll tell you what, I'd take this over any made in America guitar that had a new price point at that amount. Yeah. I don't even know if they're doing any guitars at that price point anymore for the USA stuff. But yeah, I mean, the cool humbuckers, the coil tap, the TBX Tone Control, which by the way, that's a feature from the Fender's Strat Plus guitars, which were, I think, late 80s and 90s. So you get that feature too as a bonus. And then Godo tuners, push-in style, whammy bar. I mean, and then the killer paint job and looks. What's not to love? Alrighty, folks, I'm going to get going. That is your Japanese Fender Boxer series. Make sure you follow us on all the socials. It's at Essex Recording Studios. There's your spelling. And if you want to buy this guitar, I'm throwing it up for $999. It's brand spanking new, still in the wrapper, baby. $999. It's going to be on the EssexRecordingStudios.com website and on Reverb.com. Next, we have an American Fender guitar to share with you, so stay tuned. Catch you later.